Now, the Mayor of Victoria's coal-rich Latrobe Valley is calling on billionaire climate activist Mike Cannon-Brookes to leave his $100 million Sydney mansion and visit her troubled community, which is reeling from power station and coal mine closures. Now, thanks to Cannon-Brookes' influence on the energy giant AGL, the huge Loy Yang A power station will close down now a decade ahead of schedule, with thousands more livelihoods likely to go with it, of course. Mayor Kellie O'Callaghan joins me now from the Latrobe Valley. Good to talk to you, Kellie. Your area's been through hell already with power stations, large power stations like Hazelwood closing down. Tell us whether people have found alternative employment and what you're worried about now.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Good to be talking to you. One of the great concerns, of course, this community does have is we are becoming quite experienced in terms of this economic disruption that happens. This is a lot of change in a community over quite a concentrated period of time, and an industry that we've been relying upon. And this, we're talking about intergenerational employment opportunity, everything from social connection right through to all elements of other business that are connected to this industry. So when these changes are made and when there's some uncertainty around closure dates, how that will look and what it is we need to respond to as a community, it can become quite challenging. And coming out of Hazelwood, we did have a community-led approach to what the changes could be, what the employment opportunities would look like. And that was informed by investment, particularly from the state government, with some assistance from the federal government as well. But as we see each of these changes occur with the closure of further stations, we do need to make sure that we're accommodating not only the 600 workers that will lose their jobs coming out of AGL Loy Yang, but that we find a pathway for those to be able to participate who are in businesses allied to the industry.
Yeah, but there's so many other jobs. Yeah, so many other jobs flow from that, and then and in the community. Tell us about Mike Cannon-Brookes. Like, he's a tech billionaire. He bought Australia's most expensive house. He owns, bucket loads of other properties. He bought into AGL specifically to try and sort of get it out of fossil fuels, and he's had influence. Obviously, his influence has helped to drive this. So why do you want him to come down to your part of the world, and what do you want to show him?
Well, as you quite indicated, Chris, Mr Cannon-Brookes has a significant impact on this community at this point in time, and the decisions that he's taking part in as part of that board, the influence that he has, not only over that company, but the industry more broadly, is directly impacting on people within our community. And we need to be able to have a conversation with him around what a considered transition looks like and how that impacts on the livelihoods of people, what it means for our kids, what it's going to mean for the future of our local economy. And when we're speaking about new energy and renewable options and all of those types of new industries coming in, that needs to be something that's planned. It needs to be something that has to occur within our community so we can transition over to new jobs and new industry and attract new business. But in moving away from that company and in closing that station, there's an impact. And when you make a decision of that scale, you need to understand the implications of it and there's a part for you to play in joining with the communities to plan and support and resource that work into the future. Maybe
he could shift the headquarters of Atlassian to Moe or Morwell or Traralgon.
We're very open to that, Chris. Very, very open.
Indeed. Well, let's know how you go. It'd be great to hear your feedback if he does get in touch. Thanks for joining us.